3 months ago, I couldn't have seen a letter, no matter how big it was, unless it was very gigantic. Small. Very small for me. I can see the two lines there. It looks like almost like a triangle to me. Is it an A?
Wow.
That is my first A that I've ever seen. Print A.
How many letters do you see, if
For the first time, I was actually able to see a group of letters and recognize them as my initials, since those are the only letters I really am familiar with in the print alphabet. Those are what I was taught to sign. There are 3 letters on that paper.
Okay.
And those 3 letters make up my signature. I was actually able to see them from
Lauren!
5 inches, about 5 inches in front of my face, which was pretty cool. I had never been able to do that. My full name is Lawrence Edward Brown III, and I am in Qingdao, China, for stem cell treatments for optic nerve hypoplasia.
My name is Georgina A. Brown, and I came to China to bring my son for stem cells.
ONH stands for optic nerve hypoplasia. The optic nerve is smaller than it needs to be, underdeveloped, so it doesn't project the images to the eye as well as it should. Nothing is wrong with my eyes, but because of the optic nerve being 1/10 of the size that it needs to be, I can see light and colors and no shapes, no detail. But light and colors are clear. And with this treatment, they're getting clearer and clearer every day, which is amazing to me. I read Braille. I cannot read print. All my work at school is translated into Braille for me. I use a Braille note. I don't have that here with me. I write on that. I can save my reports on there and transfer them to my USB drive, and I can do all sorts of things. I have JAWS, which is a talking computer program, and then I also use a cane. I've had 5 injections. Today will be my 6th. I've had 3 IV and 2 spinal. Today will be my 3rd spinal. I've noticed an increase in brightness of light and the reflection of light off things. That's something I was never really able to see, and now that's becoming very, very clear. Coming to this is just amazing. And it's weird. I mean, it's not all pleasant, because some of the things are just weird, like the dizziness off the elevator. But I gladly pay the price just to see all the stuff that I'm starting to see. Even now, I've got to make sure that back home people aren't jumping to conclusions and thinking I'm seeing everything, because it's not that way. And I told my mom before I came here, before I even knew what this was going to be like, I said, Mom, I have hardly any depth perception. That's going to come before that. I'm going to see motion and depth and the reflection of light before I see any detail. The detail will be the last thing that comes. And that just me, because I knew where I was at, and now the question is, where am I going? Colors, especially like a lot of the reds and blues, they're so much more vivid, a ton more vivid than they used to be. The greens in when we were going up in the chairlift at Laoshan, they were so much more green than I had ever seen before, and I'm sure it was because it was very green, but I mean, it was just so vivid, and the spaces in between the greens and the sunlight. Sunlight is something that's changing a little bit for me, and getting brighter. We were walking along the sidewalk, and my mom said, "Can you tell me what that is?" And I said, "I guess bushes or flowers, probably flowers." And she goes, "Yeah, they're flowers. What color are they?" And I said, "Red." And that was something that I could never, ever tell before. Movement of people is something that I always kind of felt more than saw, and now I'm seeing more than feeling. I actually got dizzy after getting off the elevator, and they were just, they packed the elevators to the gill here. And we got off, and we had all gone grocery shopping, and just everyone moving their bags and stuff like that. It was kind of weird. I got a little motion sick.
Just for Lawrence to be able to see LEB 5 inches away is amazing to me. For him to be able to read print, for him to be able to look at TV and not have to have people describing to him. I mean, to me, that's means everything. What more than to go to the movies, and that's one thing we'll do right when we get back, and for him to be able to see the movement, for him to be able to see the color flowers outside. To me, it's worth this and anything. If I had to go around the world and back to do this, I mean, for him to be able to experience everything that I've described to him, even if it's just a little bit of sight, it doesn't matter. I mean, any little bit that he gets, even be able to see people moving instead of just feeling the movement, anything is worth this and much, much more. Much, much more.
We're gonna have to start flashcarding him. So he can